Alright, this video is also like the last one. We are looking at the top flap of section number 3 in our Unit 8 Trigonometry flipbook. This section deals with finding the area of any triangle using trigonometry. So, you've learned already, class, if I can put this over on the side, you guys have already learned that if I've got a, let's see if I can do this, I'll try to draw a right triangle. If I've got a triangle, and I know what the base is, and I know what the height is, you can find the area by looking at 1/2 times the base times the height. And that would be, in this case, a right triangle. In fact, that works for every triangle. If you know the base and you know the exact height of the triangle, you can use area equals 1/2 of base times height. But there's another way to find the area of a triangle. We can use trigonometry to do this. And the area formula for a triangle is 1/2 of lowercase a times lowercase b times sine of uppercase C. Now, I know some of you have asked questions in class before. Do you always have to use capital letters for the vertices? And here's the reason why we do this. Because when you see capital letter C, you know that stands for a vertex, which is right here. Lowercase letter a and b, they don't stand for vertices, they stand for the sides. And it's very common in math that if you have this vertex labeled a, you would consider the opposite side of that vertex as lowercase a. So CB could also be referred to as lowercase a. Also, look at angle B, or vertex B. You would consider this side to be lowercase b, and then the bottom of this triangle will be lowercase c. And this is where we get the small a, small b, or lowercase a, lowercase b. Now notice, class, that even though this is not a right triangle, we have a side and an angle and a side. Now remember, that is a definition or a theorem to prove similarity. It's also a theorem to prove congruence. But in this case, it's the information we need to use this formula. Now the angle has to be between the two sides in order to use this area equation. Let's go ahead and plug it in and figure out what we got. So we're going to figure out the area of this triangle is equal to 1/2 times the value of lowercase a, which in this case is side CB, which is 18, times the value of lowercase b, which is the length of side CA, which is 11, times the sine of angle C. The sine of angle C, which the value of angle C is 87. So now all we got to do is plug this in our calculator. Let's go ahead and do this. See if I can bring this up where we can see it. Whoops. Sorry about that. As I bring, looks like I've got no place for this. Let me slide this screen over a little bit. There we go. Alright, you go ahead and do this in your calculator at the same time that I am doing it. So I'm going to put the 1/2 in parentheses so the calculator knows that is a separate fraction, times, I'll put not 11, let's backspace, supposed to be 18, times 11, and then times, and I don't have to put a parenthesis here, I'll just put sine of 87. Close parentheses and press equal, and we get 98.864. So I'm going to round that to 98. Let's go 98.86. We'll do it to 2 decimal places this time. 98.86. So the actual area is approximately 98.86. I should put that point a little lower. It looks kind of like I'm multiplying here. So 98.86. And don't forget, class, we're doing area. That's going to be unit squared. So the area of this triangle using sine is 98.86 centimeters squared. Notice, class, we did not need to know the height of this triangle. And in this case, we didn't need to know side C. We needed to know one side, another side, and the angle that's included in between those two sides. That's how to find the area using sine.